5.
Hello, everybody. It is I, Zion, senior VGC player from Sacramento, with
And
my,
it's me. Wow, you're not even gonna let me do my own. Wow, unbelievable.
I'm gonna say, with my great friend Ryu here.
Yeah. So we are here. We've got on the me. I don't know where Zion has it, but on the right, if you're watching my video, where do you have it, Zion?
On the left.
You have wait. You have our team on the left.
Yes.
Okay, fine. I'll put our team on the left then, because we can't have inconsistencies. Now, can we?
No, that's bad.
Uh, okay. So on the left, our current idea for Portland. This is probably going to change. Um, but we've got the double fighting core of Zamazenta Koraidon, and Assaultus Raging Bolt, which helps out with like the Kyogre matchup, and is just generally like a good pressure piece and a kind of special offense. If you want to take the last three, you can do that.
Yeah. We have the Chen Pao and Entei core. This is good for teams that love their speed control, those Tailwind Trick Room teams. Entei is a very good mon to lead into Incin, Chen Pao for things like Miraidon and such. And Amoonguss is a general supporting piece. A small line of defense into our Titanic ground type weakness. Um, the
We
redirect.
we, we well we don't have a ground. It's not a ground resist. We desperately needed a Moonblast switch in.
Oh yeah, that too. We can't take fairies. But Amoonguss
Yeah.
just kind of helps glue the team together and patch up the things that
I
the
mean,
five can't
luckily
handle.
there are like three fighting type. They're not fighting type. There are like three ground type moves, and that's Cali Ice High Horsepower, Ursaluna Headlong, and like Landorus Earth Power,
True, yeah.
and that's
But
like kind of it.
yeah,
But this is actually our second take, so this one's going to be a little shorter because we spent an hour and a half painstakingly going over every single matchup that we thought would be like good. And we, divided them into matchup tiers. Zion had win percentage, like, matchup. You know how it is, like 60-40 in our favor, for example. And then I put them into little file organizations. And then we checked the audio, and it was dog shit.
yeah, it was extremely echoey. You couldn't hear anything. So take two. And
It was fucking unwatchable.
actually, this is take two of the team as well, because yesterday me and Ryu put together this right on
Oh yeah,
Lunala
yeah, yeah. Let's
team.
switch over to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
With Screams Grimmsnarl, one of my
By the
personal
way,
favorites.
I just want to say Zion is trying to dump this on me. He made this. I was not involved.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is kind of true. I did make I did make the entire team, but yeah. So it's similar. No, it's not similar to Joe Gartu actually, but it's like right on Iron Hands. You got the Grimmsnarl. Uh, oh my gosh,
It's
Luna.
tail room. It's tail room that leads a little more towards room.
Yeah, you got your Talonflame for like Faint, Quick Bard, silly shit. I slapped on Fluttermane because I'm bad at this game and couldn't think of a sixth Pokemon.
Preach. But yeah. So do we want to go through like? Do we want to go like worst matchups to best matchups?
I don't have that organized. I think we can just go through like the order that we. Oh, you switched
Okay.
to the order.
Okay.
But okay. So first up, we have.
No, no, but I have the order correct. I renamed. I reordered it.
Okay. So we have our Koraidon HO matchup. Koraidon CSR hyper offense.
PC.
Um.
So yeah. Oh my fucking god! I hate the showdown servers.
So yeah. Just because like we have the wide guard pressure, so it shuts down like a lot of the stuff like Calyrex would want to do. Right, and then we can take it out with the Bandit, Entei, and Sun. That just kills Calyrex. Like Entei, only on this team, like only really fierce Koraidon, like Entei, Zama,
Oh, it
in
it fears
Sun.
Calyrex. Let's not.
Okay, but okay, if that's why I said Entei Zama because wide guard.
Oh,
Um,
okay, right. Okay, okay, okay. I'm just bugging. I'm sorry.
yeah. Um, so Entei can really
Okay, don't yab it.
sorry, Entei can really like screw like a large portion of this team up, and then Raging Bolt can deal with Koraidon. So like a four of like Zama, Pow, Entei, Koraidon is very solid. Um, Also, like you can even have like you can really bring all six, but like probably not Koraidon, right? Because just the CSR and Tailwind sucks for him. But
Mhm.
yeah, like the
Yeah.
bottom five, they all have use cases. Like Amoonguss, you could Terra Water, you could get spores off because this team has one spore immunity, and it's the Whimsicott. Um,
And that'll be well, and also if the Indeedee can always be safety goggles, right?
True, yeah. This one's Rocky Helmet, but yeah, it could be. So yeah, that's that matchup, and then
And then
to
yeah, do you want me to take the next one?
yeah,
We got Calibride Balance. I believe we put this one at like either 60, 70, 30.
I put it 75-25.
We have 25, right on, right on, right on. But basically, the idea is like the three of Ensign, Corner Pawn, Rillaboom are just like kind of useless into this team. Like Ogre Pawn less so because Sturdy is never really going to be bad. But bottom line is like the Fake Out brothers don't do shit into this team. Right? Like Incineroar, Rillaboom is without Flare Blitz, can't do anything into Amoonguss, Entei, Raging Bolt, Zama, and Koraidon. Um, so those guys just kind of suck here. Fluttermane is only really good into like Tianpao, Raging Bolt, and then Koraidon. It loses pretty hard to Zama, Entei, and Amoonguss. Um, but both of the restricteds are really scary for us to deal with, right? Like, yeah, we do have Wide Guard plus like Tianpao to get around Calyrex, but then you pair that with Koraidon, which kind of beats all of our Calyrex kind of play. That's why the pairing is scary. But overall, we have a significantly more amount of tools in this matchup than they do, right? Like they kind of struggle to deal with Zamazenta outside of their Koraidon, so we can really like focus that down. Kind of try to force it to Terrifier with Chien-Pao, and then Terrifier can get exploited by like it doesn't really get exploited, but it burns their Terra, which is good. So
Also,
generally just a very very heavily favored matchup for yeah, go.
also Koraidon is like very pressured by Raging Bolt, and Calyrex isn't doing a lot to said Raging Bolt because of the
Yeah, yeah,
Solvus.
yeah, yeah. That is the other thing about them like tearing Koraidon in fear of like Chien-Pao is it makes them give up their Thunderclap resist, and then they're taking like 70,
Yeah,
assuming Sun is up.
it should be. There's two Koraidons in the field. Come on now. Um,
Uh,
all right, and so
This is like by far our worst matchup, right? It's like this in Hard Trick Room.
the Kurai Kali Doza.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this sucks. Dondozo is generally just like a really difficult Pokemon to deal with, and so like the way this matchup will play out is they're like the thing that I see is they lead Weezing, one of their two restricted, and then Dondozo Giri in the back. So we have to get just like I think like Koraidon would be a bit more favored into our team. So like we'd have to try to plan corresponding that, but also if they lead CSR and we lead like really like wrong, like we have to be able to cover both restricted leads plus the Weezing.
It's
And
it's literally uh it's literally like we have to call the coin flip on which, like, if they bring Koraidon and we bring Koraidon, that's good for us. But if we bring Zama and they bring Kali, that's good for us. But if it's any other way, it's bad.
yeah. And then like the Dondozo
Because
Tatsugiri,
we
um
yeah, continue.
the Dondozo Tatsugiri, they're not the hardest part to deal with. It's really just like that first hurdle with restricted, because something like Raging Bolt,
Yeah.
like in Amoonguss into like the Terra Steel variant that we see here, or like Raging Bolt plus
Yeah, and
Entei
then
to pin the Paragrass variant.
I don't really like Entei into this. I think I think Chimp has a lot better at pinning Terra Grass. But yeah, like you use one guy for Terra Grass. You use one of these two guys for Terra Grass, and then you use this guy for Terra Steel, and then you use the Bolt guy for all of them.
Yeah.
All of the Terras get beaten by Raging Bolt because this Pokemon's a monster.
Yes. Okay.
Um, But regardless, it's just like still really hard for us to call the counter the coin flip. And after, but I've been playing like some test games against Dozo, and it doesn't feel as bad as we initially thought.
True, like this might be like 50-50, even 60-40 our favor, depending on how we can
No, no, no,
develop.
okay. It's not 60-40 our favor ever. It
Okay,
might be 60-40 their favor or 50-50 at best. But
okay.
like I think we're being a little too we're optimist maxing a little too much.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's true, that's true.
Shout out Optimus Prime. Anyways, wait, what if he was Optimal Prime? There's
Anyways,
optimism, optimus, and then optimal. That's so many words. Anyways, we got Koraidon Lunala balance, and I kind of stepped on your toes during Dondozo, so you can just yap about this, and I'll interject only when like absolutely necessary or when you want to throw it over to me.
okay. So Coretta and Luna more like a Sun Balance variant with the Fluttershy U, Assault Raging Bolt Mirror, and Corner Pond. Corner Pond just like it kind of has use cases, but it really just it gets beat up on by our restricteds so badly. I don't think like there's much justification as to bringing it unless like you really desperately need the Amogus resist. Like Terrifier Koraidon, it just kind of sits on Shiyu. It kind of sits on Flutter because this one isn't running Shadow Ball. Like the very popular sample team where this is from isn't running Shadow Ball. Um, and then like you said on Corner Pond, as mentioned before, right? The Koraidon, I think you lived the close climb, but like it's speed. It's a speed tie because they're always maxed out on Life Orb. So it's really
Mhm.
whoever goes second will get like the KO, and then
Yeah.
so like you want to bring Koraidon, you're bringing Cheng Pao. Cheng Pao's good into Lunala. It's good into Bull Rage. You can force Lunala to Terra Water. Raging Bull has a great matchup into both the restricted because you can just one shot Koraidon and you'll take a lot of damage from close combat, but you won't die. And then like Terra Water, like or Thunderbolting the Terra Water Lunala, and then like you're a Soul Vest, so like you basically don't fear it. Um, Thunderclap is two shotting Chi and stuff like that. So like a four like Koraidon, Pow lead, Raging Bull, and then maybe like either Entei or Zama in the back.
Yeah. And then something that came up last time that I didn't hear you mention was GU is like in theory pretty good into our team, but it ends up feeling like dead weight a lot of the time if it is scarfed, because locking into heat overheat is obviously very punishable. Locking into heat wave can just get wide guarded forever, and Dark Pulse is not a good move into Koraidon, Zamazenta, Assault Vest, Raging Bull, and Champao.
Yes.
So yeah, this is generally like a decent win for us, but Lunala is a scary Pokemon for our team, so we
Y-
have to keep that in mind.
Yeah. All right. Now we need to pass it off for you for our Karai Luna Soft Trick Room team.
Yeah. So we here have Koraidon Lunala Soft Trick Room, and I believe this was like our second kind of losing.
Yeah.
Um, did I put this in Solid Loss? I did. Okay. So we don't do well into the bear. As previously mentioned, we have our ground resist is Terra Grass Raging Bolt. Um, so we haven't played against any Ursaluna yet, but once we do, I imagine it will be an issue. Um, Brute Bonnet's kind of like just an annoying ass Pokemon to play against, right? Like Spore is very good into our team because we only have an Amoonguss and the aforementioned Terra Grass Raging Bolt. Um, Lunala is really scary now that it can Expanding Force because if we don't have Zamazenta out against it at all times, something is getting chunked. Um, and Safety Goggles and Didi is the devil, like against our team. Like, how are you supposed to be on? Um, but yeah, and like it can be really difficult because we don't really have a ton of great ways to stop Trick Room, and like our ways of punishing it are kind of limited to like try to kill the Indeedee and then spore the Lunala. But then if they burn Terra on Indeedee, which a lot of people are, hesitant to, but eventually, if they decide to burn Terra on Indeedee, things can get really difficult. With Chien-Pao, I was trying to say, but like yeah, so like I think our current plan into this is like Chien-Pao and Moongus and then hope things go right. but that's not. You can already tell from the word hope being in that sentence that it's not super reliable.
Um, yeah. I've seen a few variants of this online where the NDD isn't safety goggles, and that gives us way more lines. Like goggles and DD, yeah, again, as Ray said, it's the devil. But if it isn't there, or they don't burn tear, and we can
Mm-hmm.
kill it, we can just kind of run amok and spore their whole team before it really gets anything useful done.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, we were talking about this earlier. I still have Flare Blitz on Entei, but we were considering Crunch specifically just because we don't like Lunala. Do we want to really play around with that, or do we just want to keep Blitz for now?
We can get Blitz for now, but if it becomes a serious issue when we find it in matches, but also if we aren't using like Flare Blitz just at all and Sacred Fire is fine enough, then we can switch to Crunch.
Because like in certain end games, we can just choose to not take a lot of 5% chances to lose with Sacred Fire, right?
Yeah, true.
Um, I don't know if there are any specific calcs which it helps with. Honestly, there's probably like some calc in like a defensive flutter that Flare Bliss is better for, but
Yeah.
we can work that out later.
Wait, Bandit and Sun. There's no
Um,
way Flutter's taking that. Any kind of defensive Flutter.
no, but I'm saying like out of like there are plenty of situations where Entei is going to be Flare Blitzing a Flutter main out of Sun,
True.
or like like what if fucking for example like Flare Blitz in Sun with Sword of Ruin always kills a certain Terra Water Flutter main that's popular. I don't know.
I see.
Um, Anyways, Ho-Oh is a bad Pokemon, and it's up to Zon to explain why.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me go into this team. Okay, so we win this shit easy because Koraidon sits on Instant, sits on Flutter, sits on Rilla, right? What is this bird doing? It's dying to Raging Bolt. That's what it's doing. Um,
Koraidon sits on Flutter.
I said did I mention Terrifier? I'm pretty sure I said Terrifier. I meant to say
You
Terra.
never said Terrifier, but that makes sense. That makes sense.
This is Gen 9 where the Mon 4 where
I
the
was
Mon
so confused.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
Gen 9 where the Mon 4 times weak to Flutterman or 4 times weak to Fairy beats Flutterman. Um And then you have Shenpao, which also deals with Raging Bull, deals with Rillaboom. It's pretty good in Korea. I don't know if they don't burn Terror, but they probably will, which is why we have the Raging Bull. Um,
Right.
and then see, because I like Ho on paper is good to both of our restricted, but it like you're losing to the fucking Raging Bull, right? Like, um, there's just like yeah,
Ho-Oh
the
loses to our third restricted.
oh yeah, so like their mons can beat ours, but we have way more ways to deal with the damage output quickly.
Yeah. We need to redo this Raging Bolt, though, because this wasn't EV'd with Assault Vest in mind.
It wasn't.
And then Entei Stone Edge is also funny.
Oh yeah, 80% of the time you auto win this. Um,
Ooh. It's time
or
for the Ass Cheeks Turtle.
oh yeah, I actually love this Pokemon, and I made the team. I made this sample team. This was my early meta team, but I kind of have to admit, like it worked, but like
So,
it's not consistent enough to bring
yeah.
to a regional.
Yeah, I mean, we've already discussed the issues with Chiyu against our team, Scarf Chiyu.
Yeah,
Greens are kind of rough. Like, that shit is low key difficult. Toronto basically never come here because we have an AV Reasonable and a Mungus and two fighting types.
two fighting restricteds. Yeah, and
Right, and like especially Specs Pagos, which can't time its Terra Shell nearly as well because it can't protect, it can't sub, it can't do anything like that. It's kind of just forced to take a hit when you want it to or run away, which is really bad into this kind of structure because of the aforementioned two fighting types. So, and like they're pretty much like Raging Bull, Grimmsnarl, and Koraidon are all good here, but they're kind of forced to bring one like suboptimal Pokemon in this matchup, with whether it be or Ogerpon or Chiyu or Terra or Pagos, right? Something like that. Um,
like one of
so like
this team has three fighting weaknesses, so something is dying to the fighting
yeah,
restricteds.
continue.
Yeah, yeah. No, I just said it. Like these.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
precisely. And then moving on, we have placeholder name.
Oh yeah.
And this is Setup Pagos with Koraidon, which is a little better, but not by much.
Okay. I think it's a lot better
Um,
actually because as we mentioned before, Fake Out Brothers don't get to do anything. Corner Pawn isn't good into our team because again it's blue blue restricted. It's not as great as you think it is into Raging Bolt. Um, so they have, and then also Terapagos because of our two fighting types. Like yeah, it has like common enough parts, but Body Press is still killing it. Um,
oh no, I was saying specifically that Setup Pagos is a little bit better into our team, but it's not.
uh, I see. Um, so they
Yeah,
have
no.
they
We shred this shit.
yeah they have two mons that can like potentially like even be like a slight of an issue, which are it's Fluttermane, which still just hard loses Zama, and Koraidon, which the Raging Bolt thing. Um, it is a
And then we can
very
Raging Bolt Koraidon, and then well, the other thing with Koraidon is just like it's so awkward for them because they have to like win every since Chien-Pao and find another way to break its sash.
yeah
Um, and then they can just get E-speeded if we choose to bring Entei because all six of our Pokemon could come here except for like maybe Amoonguss.
yeah.
Um,
But even then, if we could start sporing stuff,
but
should
yeah,
be
no, just
decent.
just overall like a very solid matchup for us.
Mhm.
It's the team. It's the team that this team
Oh yeah.
is double fighting bulky offense. Uh, so we got Koraidon, and the Koraidon Zamamir is like kind of scary in theory, but Entei is very well equipped to kind of deal with this. It can chunk Koraidon. It scares Zamazenta a lot. It can help into Chien-Pao. It can help into Fluttermane depending on what it locks into. Breakfast, and then I think generally Assault Vest Raging Bolt is like a bit better than Life Orb in this matchup.
Yeah, I think so too. Because then like
Actually, just be wrong.
you don't have to Terra and start Fluttermane. It's not like we have one, but like
Yeah.
they're scared of Pow. Right. If Pau can like force something to Terra Water, Bolt just eats it alive.
Mm-hmm. And like I just like we have an Amoonguss, you know.
Yeah, and they have
Amoonguss is really good into this team.
yeah, they have one spore with this, so yeah.
Terra Fire Zama is interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I have a few times. But a lot of it's to avoid burns.
Yeah. No, I mean I imagine right. You keep this on defensive profile, but you can't get wisped.
Mhm.
And then we have Miraidon Lunala Hyper Offense.
Ooh, this one.
You wanna take the lead here?
I shall. Okay, so this is what the team from earlier, their team yesterday was based off of. But right, we think it's 60-40 because well, one, they have five mons in this matchup. Urshifu, not real. Um, right. So then that
Yeah.
effectively, like, it forces them to be kind of predictable, right? Where they have Mirai, they have Lunala, and they have like Mirai and Lunala, and they almost have to bring Caught, and then probably Iron Hands. Like they could kind of bring Shiyu, but again, it's not because we can exploit a lot of its move choices. Um,
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is like they want Whimsicott so they can get obviously it's like Miraidon can outspeed Koraidon and shit, but like it's not that big of a deal, and Whimsicott doesn't really do anything. Like Light Screen is not valuable into our team.
mhm,
Moonblast isn't really hitting anything particularly hard. Like, yeah, it's nice for Chien-Pao Sash and shit. We don't really care about Encore.
mhm. Also, Chen
Like
Pao,
Whimsicott is kind of a must bring, and it's kind of dead weight as far as a must bring goes in a matchup.
yeah. Also, Chen Pao and Ante, they are like the Miraidon Whimsicott lead that you'll often see from these type of teams. Is very good to that because E-Speed can kill a lot of like even like some like the mildly bulky cots. Like it'll have a guaranteed one shot into a lot of those, and then Chen Pao can ice spinner Miraidon, and then the damage gap has been opened massively
A
before turn two.
with a 70% chance to one hit KO Miraidon. So, as Zion Cray once wisely said off camera because that recording was shit, if you hit Focus Blast, the matchup is 70-30.
True. But I have it at 60-40 because sometimes that
Because
won't happen.
get it because because 70-30 is the ratio to hit a focus blast.
But
All right.
all right, right.
Luna bike, Luna bike.
Back to you for our bad matchups.
This
Wait,
shit, this shit is low key difficult.
I have it as 60-40. How did we
This
get
shit is
there?
hard. Why do you have it as 60-40? Wait, what? Do I have it as 60-40? I do. Why?
What was the reasoning? Um.
We gaslight ourselves?
Oh no, because Koraidon's way better. I think. I don't actually remember. Yeah, I don't.
Is it? Is it? I feel like this is just the last matchup, but what were we on?
I don't know. No, this isn't good. This is not like a matchup in our favor at all.
Yeah, no. What? What the fuck? I think. I think we were like, we had just built the team. Testing was going well. We were on that optimism shit, and now we are in reality.
Well, I mean, that was like 4 hours ago.
Hours can change a lot, man. Um, but either way, yeah, no, this shit is like kind of bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
how do we beat Ursaluna?
oh,
How do we beat Farigiraf?
yeah, true. I think
Reasoning? Oh well, I guess the reason of just like we can OHKO their trick room setters,
true. Yeah.
I guess, right?
And then if we get like a spinner off,
It's like
Amoonguss can run wild because their
yeah,
Miraidon in Trick Room is
Mungus
not a
can
good
start
idea.
scoring shit. I'm moving
Oh
this to
yeah,
iffy though.
I also said that Terra Dragon Zama can kind of stall out their Trick Room mode.
Oh yeah, no, Terra Dragon's Omelet is very good here. You are correct. Yeah, no, and then if we time the Terra Dragon correctly, we can kill their biggest threat, which is the Ursaluna, right? Um, so yeah, I'm still gonna put it in iffy because I don't think it's like a quote good solid matchup as I had it earlier, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world now that I've actually thought about it a little, you know?
Yeah, like I think we can maybe move it to like 50-50 because I don't think it's 60-40. All right.
At 55-45, maybe.
Yeah,
That feels accurate. Like in their favor, not in ours.
yeah. Okay. 55, but
Um Ice Rider Miraidon. Now this is actually easy.
it is because
Uh I remember what I said last.
go for it.
Yeah, so this is the last matchup, but they replaced the annoying Pokemon being Lunala and Ursaluna with easy to deal with Pokemon like Calyrex Ice and Boglepon Hearthflame.
See, what happens here is you lead Koraidon, you lead another Pokemon with Koraidon, and
Mm-hmm.
you win. Um,
Yeah, no, you literally just like lead like Koraidon Amoonguss, Koraidon Chien-Pao,
Koraidon literally anything, and yeah.
Koraidon plus Imagination. Congratulations on winning the Portland Regional Championships.
Oh yeah. Um, so that's why that matchup is good.
Fucking horse that I love. That fucking horse that I love. It's your time, baby.
All
We
right.
got Shadow Rider, Miraidon, offense. Ogerpon Wellspring isn't a real Pokemon. They have 5 Pokemon. Um, that's pretty awesome. You know?
It did. Wow. But
Are you
yeah.
laughing?
No, I just yawned. Okay. I have it at 70 to
Oh, god damn
30
it. Okay.
because it's a similar thing to the Miraidon Lunala hyper offense. Um,
Did I not loop my music?
where
Fuck. No. Anyways.
but it kind of like they're kind of predictable in the monster they bring because it's caught, Delver restricted, cheat, then probably Iron Hands, and then like CSR is harder to deal with than Miraidon, but it's not that hard to deal with. Like Chien-Pao Entei is pretty good. Into just like their
Yeah,
entire team
Chien-Pao Entei
generally.
is really good. We like you can just constantly pressure Cali Shadow with Sucker. You can pressure it with Thunderclap. Um So yeah, I think it's a pretty good. I think it's a pretty good matchup. Um, gross, gross. You talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I literally don't want to talk about it anymore.
Which one is it? It is. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's similar to the other Dozer team, in Dozer being a hard one to deal with, right? But like also there's Assault Vest Miraidon, which is kind of harder for us to deal with than Specs Miraidon because we can't punish its move choice. Um, and
As I
then
said, it's not the assault vest. It's the lack of choice specs.
yeah, Chiyu is it's more real, but it's still not real. Um, so like that leaves
It's realer because we're less incentivized to bring Zama,
yeah.
right? But I still think we bring Zama. Like I think I played this exact team earlier today, and I think I just brought double restricted Raging Bolt Pow.
I see. Did you win?
Yes. Yeah, I won 2-0.
Sweet. Um,
Yeah, I mean, like, well, it's 1100, so like, don't take it seriously. But
yeah. Our account that we're
um,
doing this on very new,
um
but
yeah, fuck Elo reveal.
yeah, Chenpa and Tay are very good in like the leads. Like you can use those to deal with the restricteds, and like a Raging Bolt Koraidon in the Mac can help deal with the Dondozo Tatsugiri.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Amoonguss is also
You know what? Fuck
like
it. I'm bleeping that out. I'm bleeping it out. Elo reveal at 20 subscribers for both me and Zion.
okay. Um,
Anyways, sorry.
and then Amoonguss, like if you Ice Spinner, Amoonguss can also get us some
Mhm.
stuff. Dire Claw is nowhere near as scary as his Inner Edge because it can't do the scariest thing it could possibly could, which it possibly could, which is sleep. It can't sleep us because of electric terrain.
Oh,
So it's like
yeah.
it's still an issue, but it's like way less of an issue.
Yeah, and and we can like play that dance of like timing our ice spinners so that their sleep isn't scary, but ours is, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Um, Now we have my favorite team ever. This shit is also like kind of hard.
There's Asha
I
Mirai on
think.
one, right?
I think I have this. I think I have this as a toss up.
Is Austin Mirai?
Wait, where do I have this?
Because I have it as
I have it as
46 feet.
iffy. Okay, I have it. Yeah, I have it as iffy. So like Zacian's just kind of a difficult Pokemon for us to deal with because Sacred Sword is so good to our team.
Yeah.
Like the combination of Sacred Sword and Play Rough because our Fairy Resist is at Moongates, which kind of takes a lot from being Blade. Um, and like, yeah, it can be difficult. It's hard for us to stop them from getting Trick Room with their Farig because they can apply such massive offensive pressure with their Zacian. Um, like Iron Hands in general can help Farig set things up. Their Ogerpon isn't really an issue, but like Miraidon and Zacian are like manageable alone, but their combined offensive pressure can really kind of start to show the cracks of the defensive synergy of our team.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all of
Yeah,
this.
anything else to add?
Um, Not really. I do agree with you. I think like our ways of defeating this are like very limited. Like the most we have is like Terragas Bolt can kind of beat Zacian, where like Thunderbolt, Thunderclap, and like both Sun and Electric Terrain, they could do a lot of damage. They have a lot of mons that are Terra Water. If we can force them to Terra one of those, Bolt can beat it really hard. But it still does like lose 1-on-1 like without Terra to both their restricteds. Um,
Hmm.
right. This doesn't have the thing that like the random cloud teams are like they aren't as predictable. Like they're not forced to be as predictable with
Yeah.
the mons that they bring. Right.
Wait, sorry, what are we? Are we still on? Are we still on Zashi and Miraidon, or are we on Palkia?
Zashram right on. We were wrapping that up. So yeah, that's why that is not in our
Sorry,
favorite
my
at
bad, my
all.
bad.
All was well. Um.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's not like awful because again, like Miraidon can still put in work, and like Raging Bolt is still good here.
yeah.
And then Amoonguss is still fantastic. We can get the terrain off.
All right. So into Miraidon Polkia,
Even
softer
if we
trick room.
can't spore, like Rage Powder's pretty good. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So
Um,
Miraidon Polkia, soft trick room. I don't think this is real, but like it's there. So
Yeah,
We
it's low-key not, but like P2 is our bitch. Palkia
yeah.
is our bitch. Miraidon is kind of scary sometimes. Ursaluna is really terrifying, but two Trick Room setters have a really hard time getting up Trick Room against our team. And then Incineroar isn't real and Hearthflame isn't real, so this is a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, 5 of these 6 get eaten alive by Koraidon, and then Miraidon doesn't have the best matchup into it, and we have Chen Pao.
Yeah, yeah, I don't really think we need to dwell on that for too long.
Yeah.
Um,
All
Pretty good
right.
toss up somehow.
And then,
Right on ground on shit.
yeah. Would you like to take the floor?
Arrow like, huh? Yeah, sure. I mean, so their electric discharge is like hard for us to deal with low key. Like we have Raging Bolt, but that's always afraid of getting Dracoed, right? We have Amoonguss, but if Amoonguss gets paralyzed at the wrong time, that's really difficult. And also, we are incredibly physically defensive, so it's gonna be difficult for us to get our shit off. Mm. And like, just kind of in general, like screens are very difficult. Spirit Break on Girl, if they are running that, which they do tend to more on this kind of like bulky drawn structure, is really annoying for our Raging Bolt, right? But we do have outs, right? We do have answers. Genpao Entei, again, is really, really strong here. Um, Incineroar and Ogarphon Hearthflame, again, don't really have the best team. They don't really want to set Trick Room. I mean, they kind of do because of Groudon. Actually, I don't know what the fuck I just said. They definitely want to set Trick Room here. I think I'm just losing it. Um, Even if they do set Trick Room, right, there's still the whole, like, Amoonguss is pretty good, right? Fishing for poisons with Sludge Bomb, even if we can't sleep something because terrain is up, is actually, like, pretty effective in this matchup because it's more of a slow play thing. Terra Water Amoonguss can be good if you, like, in a Trick Room position where Miraidon is scared of your partner, right? And it can help you deal with the Groudon. So like it's not good, but it's really not that bad. Koraidon's also just kind of that guy here again. Anything to add?
Not really. Yeah, Koraidon. But like the reason this isn't as bad, but it's still tricky, is just because Koraidon can really eat a lot of these monsters alive. Instant Hearthpawn, right? Ferguson Terra Water,
Yeah.
so you can Terrafire Blitz it, right? Miraidon doesn't have a way to resist
Cut
close
out for a sec.
combat.
Champo is in. Sorry.
Miraidon doesn't have a way to resist close combat. Groudon is really the only thing that our team can't like one shot, but even then, like we're two shotting with most of our mons. Um. All right. Oh wait, nope. Is that? Are we there yet? No. We're going into.
I sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of got out there.
Really?
Miraidon Zamazenta.
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't.
I can hear
I
you.
just don't like it. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the
No, I didn't.
Miraidon.
I didn't cut out. I muted.
Okay. The Miraidon
Sorry,
Zamazenta.
I had a sneezing fit.
I see. Um.
I'm sorry. I keep cutting you off. Go.
Oldsville. Mirai Zama. It's like Joe Ugarte's Drake G team. Minus Urshifu plus Zama. Um. So this is like Volcarona isn't like a mon at all because Crown blitzes it to high heaven. But Grimmsnarl like again screens for like the 50th time. Screen sucks for us. Um right, but there's no worry about the Miraidon being faster than us. Right? Let's see. Chempo Entei is good as always. Right? Amoonguss is way more of a threat here. Right? Like if we can isolate them right on early, then we can just start sporing a bunch of things because they have Iron Hands, which can't hit Amoonguss. They have Zama, which can't hit Amoonguss that hard. They have Grimmsnarl that can't do anything to Amoonguss, and Ditto, which probably can't do anything to Amoonguss, depending on what it transforms into. Um, so that's where that leaves us in regards to this matchup. It's
Granted, I mean half of our team does not like Amoonguss.
true.
Like they want to kill him, not as in like they fear him.
Yeah. Oh, that is true. But like even still.
Balance, Yawn, go next. Instorm and Rillaboom aren't real. Urshifu isn't real. Ogremon Hearthflame isn't real. Calyrex Shadow is manageable because we have Zama. Their Zama loses to our Koraidon and our Entei and our Amoonguss. Literally, it's just like Koraidon kills 5 of their Pokemon, and then we have 5 of our Pokemon to beat one Calyrex Shadow. Like fuck this. Like that's not. This isn't. It's a good team. It's not good into our team. We beat that without trying. We beat this in our sleep. Um,
Oh yeah.
the same with Ting, Lumina, Dondozo, and then a Raging Bolt. The Raging Bolt is a little more threatened, but honestly, get the fuck out of here. Raging Bolt is dying to Chien-Pao. It's getting spored by Amoonguss. It's fucking dying to Koraidon sometimes. It's not, it beats Koraidon, but it's dying to Zama. It's losing to our Raging Bolt because we're better and we win speed ties and we Draco Media them first. Um, and then like yeah, and you literally just like real Pokemon or Calyrex and Raging Bolt, and when your opponent has 2 Pokemon against you, that's a bad feeling. Um, a good feeling for you, a bad feeling for them. Anyways, on to Swordfish, and Zion, would you like to explain why that's unwinnable? Because I kind of rolled through those 2 matchups because we spent so much time talking about why we win.
True. Oh yeah. Okay, Sorcerer. Yeah, we don't win this like at all. Okay, because like the aforementioned Zacian is a very it's already a very difficult Pokemon, and this thing gets set up a fucking substitute. Yeah, shake my hand. You win. Also, so Kyogre isn't like the worst, right? Because we have AV Bolt. Issue like isn't we can always set the sun, right? Issue with that being Tornadus, the big fat Tornadus, right there. Um, he says, "Ha ha ha! I am Tornadus. Screw you!" and sets
I
the
am
rain in
Tornadus.
Koraidon's face.
I shall now make it dreary weather, not happy weather.
Indeed. So yeah, we can like
Um,
kind of pivot around. Like we can pivot around a lot of stuff with Bolt, right? Urshi dies to Bolt. Kyogre kind of dies
yeah.
to Bolt if they don't burn
Well, and
Terra.
the main reason we've been writing off Urshifu Rapid so many times is because we have an Amoonguss, right? And like even then, Surging Strikes isn't really doing shit to it, but this is a coaching one. Coaching making Zacian Crown scary is very bad, and also this is a Pokemon when the rain is up, which this team can do very consistently.
Yeah. So yeah,
So yeah,
that's why we're probably not winning
um,
that.
yeah.
And
Anyways, next up we've got Zacian Calyrex HO. I don't remember where I put this. What did you have this as?
55-45 for in our favor.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can see it. Cause like
Urshifu isn't real.
Abadance, yeah,
Okay,
but
okay, okay,
Urshifu
okay.
isn't real again because yeah, you go, because I've been going a lot.
So really, and quarter pawn aren't real for the aforementioned reasons of they do fuck all to our restrictions. Let's see in the specific variant. Like the Rain Tornadus is annoying, but we can pivot it around it way better because we don't have to deal with like these two like getting like faked out or redirected by like an instant or a Mungus. Actually, both of these two can do that, but like they're way worse. Right, we can like hit like one volt switch on Torn and it's dead. And then we also have Entei. Entei's like half decent at dealing with both Zacian and CSR. There's Chien-Pao. Right, there's Zama. Zama's pretty decent into these two. Like we have way more ways out than we do into the other team because it's less oppressive on the rain.
Next up, we have Zion's favorite team ever.
Which one is that? Okay,
Loves this type of structure.
I both like do and don't, right? Because I don't like CSR, but I do love Terrapagos like a
Yeah,
lot.
you don't like Surgery, yeah. I
So
mean,
we eat this
um,
alive, right? Because Koraidon makes it so they have
yeah,
one viable
because
Pokemon. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Like we send out the Koraidon on the field, right? 5 of their mons wither away from its sheer aura, and then we have 5 mons to deal with CSR.
boom, boom, boom. So sorry to hear about your 5 teammates. They get 5 big booms.
Yeah, and then we have like
Uh,
Chien-Pao to deal with CSR.
this is our like weirdly really hard matchup right here. The
Um.
Groudon CSR.
Oh yeah. Cause okay.
Cause like we don't, cause we don't have a ground resist.
I put this as 50-50 because um the exact odds for
Priority.
well yeah because okay, the idea is Terranormal Bandit Eastwood with Sword of Ruin one shots jump love 50% of the time, so that's the odds that we win this.
Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah, and then
boom.
Chen Pao can like open the damage gap further,
Yeah.
and like whatever restricted that happens to lead with. Yeah, the lead instant big whoop
Get
Stone Edge.
Tailwind. If they can get Tailwind up, we kind of just lose to Groudon,
Yeah,
to Groupon, as it were. That's kind of the whole story.
Life or Bolt.
Terragrass Bolt is like okay. Here, Life Orb Bolt is really difficult for us because we don't have a ground type. And our Mungus has 28 spit FEVs.
Landorus would actually be pretty good in our team now that
uh,
I think about it. But anyways,
yeah, honestly, wanna like, wouldn't be opposed to like Landorus over. Uh,
I say Lando over
Never
Entei.
mind.
But like, yeah, it's like I don't know. Now that I think about it, yeah, like
Maybe.
that
Okay,
could
well,
work.
that's for later.
That is for later.
That's
Right
for
now,
later.
right?
Um,
Would you like to talk about our hard tricker matchup?
I would love to. Uh, Hard Trick Room. Add Calyrex Ice, Glacial Lance. Boom! Zamazenta Crown Go. No Glacial Lance. Ursaluna. Power. Um, um, Urshifu Dark. Bat boom, 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 boom. Amoongus here to save the day. Ho, 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 ho. Expending for. No, but Amoongus will put everything to honk. Me, me, me. This indeed is Rocky Helmet, but most of them are safety goggles. No, Amoongus. Our only guy against Hard Trick Room is this guy, and if they're in DD's goggles, we just lose.
Yeah.
Um,
Nah.
it's hard to deal with Calyrex Ice. It's impossible to deal with Calyrex Ice and Lunala together. Because if we want to use the White Guard guy, they can just double up into that, take whatever damage we're gonna do to them, and then like Smeargle is also just like the most annoying fucking Pokemon of all time. I don't need to explain why Follow Me, Fake Out, Decorate Spores, an annoying moveset. You already know. Um, yeah, whatever. That matchup's bad.
Yeah, we're not.
Spreading to see Calyrex Ice. Wide Guard beats this team.
Yeah, no, that's kind of it. Ensign isn't doing a lot, right? Urshi isn't doing a lot.
Yeah.
This team is way worse at controlling the weather than the other Kyogre teams.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
uh, when the thing about Wyguard last matchup was like, oh, they have actual moves that they can click that aren't single target or that aren't spread. So what do their restrictors
Yeah,
have to deal
these
with
these
the
guys don't.
yeah? What do the restrictors have to deal with the Zamazenta that's wide guarding Seed Bomb and Ice Beam? Awesome.
So yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
think we can end it there. Awesome.
Yeah.
And now we have the even worse version of the last team.
Which is somehow harder for us to
But
deal
there's
with.
one guy. But there's one guy at the bottom,
Ho, ho,
and somehow I
ho.
think that the answer is very odd. I will click Earth Power. Blah.
Yeah, no, like Terranormal E-Speed's our only line of defense. That means we have to bring Chemho and we have to bring Entei, and if we don't, we lose.
And when you have to bring Chien-Pao Entei into Soft Trick Room, that's bad. Well, it's kind of hard Trick Room actually, but like that's bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, and then like Amoongus is also really annoying to deal with, like because like if our only goal is to kill this one fucking guy, having a guy that can go, actually you don't get to target that guy is like really bad.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, E-Speed goes before Rage
and I'm
Powder, but I get it.
yeah, but like what if we're in Trick Room?
It's Scarf Landorus and Trick Room. Ice Spinner that thing. Like, double up and then... Oh, they could Terra Water.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah!
but then the Amoongus can just Terra Water away our shit. Like it's difficult, man. You know it's crazy when their faster Pokemon wants to be in Trick Room so that its guy can. Oh my god, I'm theory crafting too hard
Yeah, definitely.
because they're do damage, and then the rest of their team aren't we've already talked so many times about why Incineroar, Rillaboom, Urshifu, Rapid, and Cornerstone have a bad time in this team. Sorry if we kind of sped through the end there. We're both very tired. We've talked about Pokemon for a combined like 5 hours today in front of a camera. That's an exaggeration, but like we've talked about Pokemon for like 3 hours in front of a camera today. You can cut us a little slack.
Yeah, I actually...
Any closing remarks, Zion?
You know, it's so fast I didn't get to the correct job. I guess I have to show the audience that, yeah, these guys lose. Um, So yeah, that's our team. Ryan, do you remember the final tally of how many teams we are good against, bad into, and iffy on?
Yes, we are iffy. We lose. We have a losing slant into 7 teams. We win against 19 teams, and then we have a toss up into 2 teams.
That is
Mm.
wonderful.
So yeah,
So yeah, that is the combined efforts of day 1 and 2 of our
um,
Portland preparation
and I really
process.
appreciate that. Like and subscribe because you clearly enjoy hearing us talk about shit that doesn't matter. Um, and I think this team is really strong and has potential. We might switch off of it as the meta develops. Who knows? But so far, it's been feeling great, and I have real faith in it. So, yeah, I think I've said my piece. I think Zahn has said his. Zahn, you want to do your little call to action?
Um, yeah, day 2 of our Portland preparation process. But there's still tons and tons more to come. This team will most certainly change. We still have Milwaukee to analyze and all the VRs and stuff, all of the testing, all the preparation to do. But all of
Yeah.
it will be worth something when we win this event.
True. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye and good night.